everyone here. So in this video I'm going to talk about pinch harmonics and how you can get them more consistently. So I teach privately a lot and I've done that for a long time. And there's a surprising amount of students that come to me with this question where they try to play a riff that has pinch harmonics, or maybe it's just a solo or whatever it might be. And it's kind of hit or miss. They nail it sometimes and sometimes it doesn't work out at all. But once I've gone through the thing that I'm going to go through with you guys here as well, they basically see that their hit rate goes way up. So getting a pinch harmonic right basically hinges on two things. It's getting the technique right here, meaning with hitting it with the side of the thumb. I'm going to cover that as well in case you're completely new to this stuff. But also a very overlooked thing is that depending on where you're at here, that's going to influence what pitch you're going to get. And also at certain spots, depending, it's all relative to where you're fretting as well, you might not get a pinch harmonic at all, or a very faint one, because it's not a good spot for it. And I'm going to show you on a single string or an open string first why that is. So basically harmonics on the guitar, this natural harmonics is basically what we call it when you have an open string and you do this 12th fret. Most people know that. And why we get this octave here from whatever string you're at is because it's supposed to be exactly halfway from where it's attached here and attached here. So that's also why we tend to compare the 12th fret with the open harmonic. That should be the same pitch. And if it's not, that's why you need to move these things. But, so that's basically halfway. But if you cut this distance in half, you get another pinch harmonic here, the 24th fret and also the 5th fret. So maybe you wonder why you get the same harmonics here, and that's because of this cutting in half thing. And then you have a lot of different natural harmonics on the strings, and if you Google that, you can find charts and all kinds of things. So that's out of the scope of this lesson. But it's good to know this so you know why the distance here matters and why it's in relation to whatever fret you're on in the left hand. So if we take the open natural harmonic again, if I do this with the index finger and the thumb, so basically what I'm doing here, I'm just exchanging this finger for this finger, then I'm hitting it with my thumb. It's not really something you need to do, just to demonstrate how you actually get a pinch harmonic up here as well, because when you do this here, basically you let the side of the thumb be the muting part here, and then the pick is doing the thumb's job, if that makes sense. So that's why you kind of need to be in contact with the string here, and then make sure that you hit it with the pick at the same time to get that pinch harmonic. But if we take this one again, so 12, and then I go up to, I mirror what I'm doing here. So this is called artificial harmonics, just because we're not on an open string anymore. But it's still the same idea. So it's still going to be, you know, it's going to be still going to be mirrored what you're doing here, and then that's going to be halfway here as well. So it's still the same thing. It's just you have a narrower space here when you go up the fretboard. So that also comes into what we're doing here with the actual pinch harmonic. So I think a good way to start to really get this together, and what has helped my students a lot, is to find a really strong harmonic, and that's usually on the octave or the same pitch. So if we try to have the 5th fret here, so that would be the 17th fret, but then it will also be here. So if you hit the harmonic here, you should get a pretty strong one. So a good exercise is to take a familiar scale shape, let's say the A minor pentatonic, and then we're going to find the same shape here. We're going to trail the left hand, or track the left hand with the similar shape up here. So we try to mimic that up here, but it's going to be smaller because as you get higher up on the fretboard, the frets get incrementally smaller, right? So first of all, we need to find the first note. And I think this is a good way to do it as well, just to find the actual spot. So I have that here. And then, so you can see my left hand, I'm moving way further, but my right hand is, you know, tinier because it's like a very tiny spaces up here. And then you go to the next string. So that's a really good exercise to do, but you don't need to do the whole scale at once. You just find the harmonic first, and maybe even going between normal note, harmonic. So hopefully you can see here what I'm doing with that I'm sort of digging in with my thumb. And you don't need to do that. You can actually get an harmonic with upstrokes as well. But what you do need, though, you need something to be in front in terms of, if this is the back and this is the front, you need something to be in front of the pick. So you can actually have something that mutes and sort of gets the harmonic going. So it might take some experimenting to do this at first. But, and as you notice here as well, you get different notes in relationship to this one, and that's where you need to kind of be careful, because if I go, for example, this note here, if I do the octave, then I'm fine. But here, I have the major third, right? Which is fine if you're playing some sort of major scale, or, you know, mixolydian or whatever, but something with the major third in it. But if you're in minor, and you hit this note, it might sound really out of place. Personally, I tend to stick to the same pitch harmonics wise, but you can do several different things, of course, and you can find tons of examples where you can go between, you know, different harmonics. So it's not a hard and fast rule, but in terms of improvising, it's just easier for me to not be hitting something that would be out of place. So I think it's at least get used to that first, and then you can, you know, expand from there. Next time you work on a riff, try to find exactly where the harmonic is located, and then every time you practice it, make sure that you're actually there in the correct position with the right hand. And if you do that, I think it will be way happier when you try to play these riffs, because it won't be hit or miss anymore, because you understand why the position of the right hand is so important. And of course, getting the degree of how much harmonic compared to normal note is going to be how much you sort of dig in with your right hand. And I think the best way to experiment with that is just to pick a note and then go try to get a little bit of a harmonic, and then almost getting it to all harmonic. And you know, going between those two extremes, and then try to find a middle ground as well. Yes, you can get some more control over your harmonics, basically. I think pinch harmonics is a great sound, but I would be a bit careful of overusing them as well, but that's a matter of your personal taste. So if you love using them on every note, do that. But in general, I think if you listen to even the guys like Zakk Wylde, who's famous for having really strong and aggressive harmonics, even he doesn't use them all the time. So it really is a matter of taste. And if you use it too much, it's gonna sort of lose its effect, like with anything. So if you have any questions, if you feel I overlooked something, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, good luck with this one, and see you in the next one. Back in the day, I used to have real issues with fast alternate picking when it came to 2 notes per string. I was fine with 3 notes per string, but the 2 note per string thing was a bit harder to crack. So if you struggle with fast alternate picking as well, and you don't know what to practice or for how long, I've created the perfect solution for you in the form of the Pentatonic Picking Power Book. So in this book, you'll find a daily workout that will not only help your pentatonic picking, but will also upgrade your overall alternate picking technique. So it contains basically the same exercises I use myself to develop my picking abilities, as well as numerous students over the years that I've given the same exercise to with great results. So I know these exercises work as long as you put in the work. So it's not a quick solution or quick fix. It will still take a lot of work, but at least you have a very easy to follow routine. So if you're up for a big alternate picking upgrade in 2024, I cannot think of a better start. It's $9 and I think it's very underpriced, but I did it that way just so as many people as possible could be helped by this. So check that out.